Hi all. Right, welcome back. Enemy Action Kharkov, Soviet Solo, Take 2, Part 55. Wow, it's taken some time, isn't it? Who would have thought? And we're only on turn 6. Okay. Right then. Okay, not sure how long I've got, to be honest, but I thought I'll just press record and see what happens for a bit. One thing to pick up on, Martin's spotted another error that I've made. This unit in here, he was in here, and for some reason I wanted to push him further south, and thought that this was the westernmost hex that he could reach. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's western, and it's still in supply, and it's still not in dangerous around. So fortunately nothing happens since, so I'm able to just move him to where he should be going. Yeah, just a simple mistake that, sometimes the simple ones, I said that to Martin, the simple ones seem to get me, whereas I feel like I must be getting through some of the tough stuff, to be honest. So there you go. Well, no harm done, because nothing else happened, and just wasn't looking at this row. I think I initially looked at this because this one was still in dangerous around. And was it possible this one was? No, I don't think this one was actually. However, I knew this one was further west. I just never thought about going 1, 2, 3, 4, like I say, nice and simple. So, okay, so that's that fixed. That was the only thing to talk about, I believe. And that was brought up in part 54, so my guess is that Martin's browsed through that, and that was about 20 minutes in, right enough, so whether he's watched it all or not. Anyway, so I think we're up to date. Right, so while I was watching back on, I've not watched back on 54 completely, I watched a bit of it. But while I was looking back on it, was when I watched 53 that it triggered, because I think that's when these units moved around. It was whenever this unit moved around to surround, and I didn't realise it at the time, but I'm sure some of you did, that he's now got a zone of control on this road. So this plan about securing all this stuff down here is not going to mean much if that guy sits there. Now, I did look at him and thought, well, he's a bit vulnerable, but he's only vulnerable if I decide to move this, and it means moving it out of the VP town. But you know what? I think this could be something that I need to do. I don't want that guy up there getting isolated. Of course, the thing could happen here is I move down here, attack that guy, and then this guy moves into the town, which is on the road as well. What can you do? And then, of course, and to activate third tank, well, I've got one more card in the draw pile, so I could take a chance and do something random just now. I mean, initially, before I noticed this, my plan was to use the Stavka card to activate 40th Army. And go for this guy, with the hope that the last card might allow me to activate 40th Army again and go for this guy. But because he's here now, I feel like I need to do something about that. Yes, it could turn out that this Rouse unit, I mean, what I started thinking we could do is come down here, have an attack, and then obviously impulse in between, but I could have any one unit move to move back into there at some point if that Rouse unit doesn't make a move for it. But I mean, waiting for the card. Well, let's see these are the two supplementals that we've already played. These are in the discard pile. There's a hand. Now, none of that, apart from the Stavka card, the rest of the cards don't help with 3rd Tank or 40th Army. And then we've got all 5 of the other primary cards in our discard pile as well. So we know that the last card's a supplemental, but that's about it. We don't know what it is. I mean, it could be something that could activate the 40th Army, it could be something that activates the 3rd tank. I don't know. So, if I stall one more turn and do something else, what would it be? Well, actually, I'll tell you what it would be. It would be the Southwest Front and activate the Popov. So I wonder if I should do that first. Because if I use, if I do try and make a move on this guy, and like I say, well, what I've got in my hand now, it would have to be the Stavka card, activate 3rd tank. Then the only real move I can really make is bring this guy down. Well, I counted up the strength, and what do you know? It's 14 against 3. One short again of, what I want, which is 5-1. So kinda annoying. I'm not even sure I could break one of these away if I wanted to. 1, 2, 3. Well, yeah, I could, but I don't want to really break away from this VP town. And don't think these guys further down, I don't think they could make it. So I'm sitting with a 14 against 3, which is 41. I think it only gives me 5 chip pools as well. Well, then I thought I've got a reinforced battle in my hand too. It's a 6th Army card, which I'm not overly bothered about keeping for the 6th Army. So then I thought, well, what could I reinforce? And the only thing that can come to mind is this unit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there. Would give the extra 3 strength, taking it to 17. So it would give us 5-1. It would also add another 2 chip pools, taking us up to the large attack 7 chip pools, which is far better. So I think that's how I would see things going. And then just need to hope that for 2 German impulses that Rouse unit doesn't move into there, or it kind of makes a mockery of. Well, I don't know. I mean, what else to do? I mean, the other thing I could do is try and put a unit here and a unit here to keep this road, but I feel like that's using too much resources, isn't it? It's using 2 units just to try and keep a supply trace open to that guy up there. However, I do think it might be worthwhile, or is it? If I'm going to do it, should I do it now? I'd like to draw the last card though, because if I use the Stavka card and then on 3rd tank, and then I draw the last card and it's a full activation of 3rd tank, I'm going to think, damn, I could have kept that for the 40th Army and whatever, So I think it's worth the chance and just doing something in between that. And like I say, I'm pretty sure the in between will be the Southwest Front card and do something with the Popov units. I say something because I'm not really that sure. It's really just a bit of manoeuvring about. The one thing about that, they're stacked with, well, it's not really beneficial, I don't think. Although this guy's stacked with that 6th Army unit as well. But then, would you want to do anything with that? I'm just saying, it being the Southwest Front card, it'll activate the units from the same front that are stacked with it. So there's a couple of 1st Guards units there, but we just put them down there the last time to sort of to allow these Popov units to move further forward. So okay, I'm gonna have a wee think of that, because to be honest, I didn't think I was going to come down here. I thought I was going to be up there. So let me pause and have a wee think about what I might want to do with this. Right, okay, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to play the Southwest Front card, activate Popov plus stacked Southwest Front unit. So see, I'm not sure that's going to apply much anyway. So there's a 6th Army unit here. There's 1st Guards unit there and there that'll become active along with the Popov. So I started getting all aggressive thoughts, and Thinking I could move on this guy. This guy could come out and this lot, that would be 7, that'd be 13, 6 to 1 odds, 4 chip pools only. These two guys, one of them could move. I mean, to be honest, we could bring another one into the battle. What did I say that was? 10, 13. Need another 3 to make a difference, wouldn't I? Well, there's a 3 strength one and a 2 strength one here. It'd mean I'd only be leaving the 2 in the town. And I mean, unless no, he can't reach anyway. But I don't know if it's silly moving this unit away from this stuff. I mean, let's just think if I'd done this out and in with that, and then these two just straight in, and then break these 2 away. This is only leaving 1 strength in here. Still got an IP, and it still keeps the victory point. And then move these guys. What did I say? 6, 10, 15. So if I wanted to add, yeah, I need to bring the 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. That's about the best I can sort of think about. I mean, it takes this unit away from here that was adjacent, but it's adding 2 more strength into this hex. It's either that or I switch these about. We'd end up with only 71. I mean, well, I don't know, 8 to 1 is pretty good. And then I wondered about what to do with this guy. He can't reach things anyway, but I actually started thinking, why not just move on 1 hex in front of here? I'm not sure why. I think because then he's now in range of maybe an attack on this guy. If things did go well here, we might want to consider moving on to that guy. And I don't know, bear in mind we've got stuff round about here. I mean, this stack, hopefully all going to plan, should get its supply back next turn. And then, we can possibly threaten some of this. Don't know, it's a bit risky all this, isn't it? I think I might go with this. Oh, Grant, let's make a quick decision for a change. I don't know the worth of moving this guy out, but I think I will. I mean, I did think about moving him up to here at first, and I thought, well, no, because that's like asking for trouble. I mean, 1, 2, 3. I mean, where he is there, he could be seeing trouble. Only from 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this unit as well. So these 3 could come in on that, to be honest. Maybe I should just leave that as is, because that'd be 4, 8, 10 against 3 to 1 odds. Where he's sitting in there with that guy, 5 strength with an IP. I mean, would I need the extra strength? If these guys were going to move on to this guy, possibly, then they've probably got enough firepower there anyway. Right, hang on a sec. Yeah, I think I quite like that. Not sure about this. And also I've just realised that I'll be able to build an IP on this hex. Because this pop-off unit, and the 6 army unit could build an IP. So that's quite nice too. I mean, they'd be able to do that no matter, even if I didn't move into there, but If that's 6, yeah, he's bringing two chip pools along though. But if he did stay there, what would we have? 4, 7, 10. Ooh, you'd have 6 to 1 odds if you left that guy in there. And I would have 1, 2, 3. I'd only have 4 chip pools instead of 5. Yeah, I don't know. And I suppose my thinking was, if these guys were to start charging down on this guy, then, you know, if we deal with him, we could always come around the back of them and just retreat a wee bit and come around the back of them, maybe. Something like that. Oh, I'm forgetting we're leaving the town empty, Grant. Okay. I completely missed that one. Ah, you divvy. Well, I don't want to do that, because this guy can reach. And not only that, I'd be surrounding these. Right, hang on. Plan B. Yeah, okay, pretty sure I'd have to leave this guy back in the town. He's one of the ones that came from here. So that now turns it into, what, 13. So that is the 6 to 1, but 1, 2, 3, 4 chip pools. Yeah. Looks kind of like that's the best you're going to get, innit? Yeah, I'm just looking at advance after combat. If I was to eliminate them, I could go here and here. Don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I don't think it really does do anything, does it? Yeah, and I think I will move this guy to here. I know it looks a bit strange, but just so that he's within range. Well, Grant, I mean, do you not think these guys could take this guy on himself? The thing is, he's also in range of this town, which would free up this unit. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll move him to there. So actually, he moved to there. Sorry, he moved because he was there. We've took the 1-step mech unit with us. I mean, I could have left that there and brought the infantry, but I think the 2 steps in the town would be better. Well, does that matter? Well, it probably doesn't, actually. And then have a go at that armoured unit. Yeah, there's risks. There is risks, but I don't feel like I need to be trying a couple of combats here and there. You know, I know I'd said about sitting back and just holding what I've got. I get that, but why aren't you doing it then, Grant? Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go with this, yeah. I'm going to go with this. Right. So we're having an attack on here. So we have 4, 7, 13 against 2. So 6 to 1 odds. I need to keep the reinforced battle anyway. Not that would help me here anyway, I don't think. Fixed artillery. What is the range? I think it's 5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. We'd be able to use it. Interesting thought. Well, how many chip pools? I've only got 4 chip pools just now, haven't I? The unit is only 1 step, but I still need to D3 it to eliminate it. is this really worthwhile, Grant? Because if you retreat it, you're not going to really gain anything, are you? I need to eliminate to be able to get something out of this. Because if you just retreat, disperses, I'm not going to go chasing them down. That's why this is maybe silly. Right, just looking at my card, I mean, if I use fixed artillery, it's this card. I'm wanting the reinforced battle on this card, so it means I'm not going to activate 6 army, but do I really need to? Do I want to? I mean, not really. It's these guys that are in here, isn't it? So they're out of supply, so... I mean... Yeah, I mean... Whether I should have considered possibly attacking, because first guard, you know, we could make an attack on that. What strength have we got in here? 4, 7, 9, 13. Yeah, I mean 13 to 4. It's not great, is it? I don't think so. Yeah. It's just I just feel that I need to eliminate that guy. So I think I'm going to play fixed artillery on this combat. Because I don't really need the card. And again, this is playing extra cards. That's one less impulse the Germans now get by me playing that card. So there's that as well. It does give us an extra chip pool as well, which is part of the reason. Well, and it gives us artillery, which is also good. But I feel better about possibly getting D3 out of 6 to 1 5 chip pools and artillery than I would with 6 to 1 4 chip pools and no artillery. Oh, that's kind of obvious, that what I've just said. But yeah, and like I've also said, it's one less German impulse for the turn, and it's not a card that I really need to do. I feel the need to do anything with. My only worry could be and activate any one unit, but I do have this still in my hand. We don't know what the last card's going to be. We're going to find out shortly. But right, okay. Come on, Grant. Just do it. Make your mind up. 23 minutes gone and you're faffing about. Right, okay, so I'm making this attack. 6 to 1 odds, 5 chip pools. We've got artillery. And it was, just double check. Yeah, fixed artillery range is 5. So it's 5 from inside the artillery barrage zone. So if you look at this hex here, is inside 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where the combat is. So it's within range. Okay, right. Now this is the big bit. German combat tactic. Here we go. Boom. Combat engineers. This is going to add strength to them. Can't remember. German defense, combat engineer. Place an IP on the defenders. Oh, okay, so he gets an IP. Well, that is bad, but the odds are still 6 to 1. I suddenly felt like my odds were dropping there, but... So, I mean, it's not good, but... Oops. He does have an IP. So that's one extra hit we need now. We now need D4 to eliminate him. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Right, I can get rid of this card now. Oh, did you see what that card was? A core rouse card. It looks like it'd be replacing steps though first, which we don't want as well, to be honest. And just thinking about, obviously, if I moved third time, well, this would have came up in the combat down up there anyway, wouldn't it? Right, I can get rid of the card because it's only going to apply if I draw a chit. It's only that only applies if the attacker plays it. So just double checking. Combat engineer, place an IP on the defender. Does not apply if defender is a town city or has an IP, or if you applied Soviet combat engineer's tactic. And I did not. And he's not in a town. Right, okay. Right, okay, let's draw some chits then. They're all in the cup, nothing set aside. Well, we've both got armour. He's got an IP, that's bad. You've got the IP crossfire possibilities. There's no defender adjacent. He's in a clear hex. We have artillery. Yeah, okay, so it's a minimum of only one. He's only one step, isn't he? Yeah. Only one step, so minimum one, maximum of 5. Guess we're probably going to 5, but we'll get the first one anyway. Okay, there's first chit. It's the off-coloured one, so things are going to refresh again. There's nothing set aside, like I said. Thought I might have got a result with a clear on the back, but it's dispersed unsupplied, so nothing doing. So yeah, I'm going to draw the other 4. I'm starting to regret this now. I just have a bad feeling now. I suppose if I'd started with D1, I would have felt the opposite and thought, yes, I've made the right choice, but I think I'm building the IP as well, just making it harder. Okay, well, I've committed myself now, so I'll get the other 4. What a waste of time. This was the second last chit I drew, so my only hit. I mean, I suppose I'm taking the IP off him. However, if we hadn't been in the battle, he wouldn't have an IP, so... Yeah, I mean, we needed some odds shits. I mean, look at that last battle, we got 2 6-1s, didn't we? Which was really fortunate. We needed that kind of results there. And just got a whole mix of nothing. Some of these on the other side, I think they're, if it's... That one was defender dispersed, unsupplied, or not supported, but we are in the support. So, but that was talking about the defender anyway, so... Yeah, rubbish. So, it's only one hit to them. And he's got an IP, so all we're going to do is remove his IP again. And yeah, that's going to be that. And these chits will all just go straight back into the cup again because we drew the replenish chit. Alright, I'll tidy things up there. Well, I suppose the only thing was we didn't take a hit ourselves, but we're now slightly out of position here. I mean, okay, it's maybe not too bad, but these guys now don't have anybody adjacent, so... However, I'm going to be able to build an IP on this. Like I say, although this guy moved into the hex, these two the units were active at the time, and they will be able to build an IP. I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaken that one. So there we go. So we've got 6 strength in there, 3. I shall put the mechanised infantry to the top there. Yeah, we've got 6 strength, 3 units, but only 3 steps, so... And... Well, we've got an IP as well, so... And then these guys moved up, so I'm not sure what's going to happen now with that situation. They're clumped together quite nicely though, and then this guy, like I say, I'm not sure about that one, but... Well, we've done it now. Because... we could, from there, we can now make a maybe better attempt at taking this guy out, maybe. The fact he's infantry. Still the same strength, but wouldn't have mattered which one we were attacking there, the result would have been the same, going by the chits. Okay, right, I'm going to have to take a break. Oh, let's see what our last card is going to be then. And remember, we played 2 cards there, so we've only got 3 cards left in our hand. So I'd like to see 40th Army or 3rd Tank. Even units might do it. Even a units card might do it. So here we go. Right. That's going to be a tough one to decide as well, because that does have the replacement point. which one would be replacing. I think the infantry in there, we've got a one-step infantry in there, haven't we? I think that's the one that would take it. That's not terrible, but would we be tempted to try and have another go at something here? Well, not next impulse. That's pop-off activated. Oh, and also 1st Guards and 6th Army got activated there too, although they never actually done anything. They were active due to the card. Don't think you get a choice in that matter. Activate 1 Southwest Front Army plus stack Southwest Front units. Yeah, I don't think this is a sort of, I don't want to do anything with them, because to be honest, I didn't do anything with these two, and the IP could have been said to be built from the pop-off unit there, but I'm going to go with the fact that they've all been activated. I'm pretty sure it's one of these things you've just got to suck up and take. It's not a biggie, because I don't want to activate them, even though I do have these 2 cars. Probably going to use this for reinforced battle. So now we know we can't do the 40th Army and the 3rd Tank, so yeah, we're going to have to make a choice there. I get the feeling it's going to be the 3rd Tank with a reinforced battle, because if you look up there, there's not any issue here from our point of view. It's just we would like to try and take that guy out, but there is an issue here regarding the road. So, well, I was saying that I'm creating an issue as well by moving this guy down. But if I did that, like I say, and if I was to get the impulse again before that Rouse unit moved back, I could use this card to activate any one unit and move that guy back, hopefully after we've taken this guy out, or retreated him at least. Yeah. And not only that, if we do get him retreating, we could advance after combat something into that hex, and that would then make that road a bit more secure. Okay, right, I'm going to upload this bit off the camera. I do need to do some other things just now, but I'll be back later with and just tag the German impulse on to the end of this. Okay guys, cheers. Hi all, right, welcome back. Enemy action Kharkov, Soviet Solo. Oh, this is halfway through, isn't it? Yeah, so this is the second half of part 55, isn't it? Yeah, we've got a German impulse coming up. I've done a bit this morning and not been back. Right, something to adjust, and yeah, I'm surprised I never caught this one. I know when I was talking about it, I've not looked back on all the video footage. Martin's went and posted a question. He's posted 2 things from my playthrough. Maybe trying to get Mr. Butterfield along to get a couple of clarifications. My guess is John's maybe, I don't know, could be away on holiday or something like that, you know, because he was making comments on he was chiming into most of the questions that were coming up, so you know, it could be a number of things. But yeah, I suppose as the playthrough goes on, you kind of want to keep things right, so I'm still not sure about 2 or 3 things really that have came up. This whole one in 10.54, you'll be sick of hearing me say it, the hex not adjacent to German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. It's like, I don't even need to look at the text. Well, I do actually, but I've said it that many times though. Yeah, and I know, like I say, I didn't quite fully, although it looks like I might have to watch this bit back, because I think this was the first unit that had moved, I think, Martin, wasn't it? It was Unit 4. So, and I know there was 2 it was a camp group card. So it was this card. Now nothing else has happened since, so I can fix this, and I'm, you know me, you know, right, you might just say, well, just leave it where it is, because you could maybe read it that way. However, no, I don't think you could, because right, and I'll show you, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these 48th Corps units back to where they were, and just redo this, and we can discuss what it is that went wrong, because the way it is worded, he shouldn't have been deployed there. So I'm going to just find out where they were and put them back, and then we'll just have a quick, it shouldn't take too long. Yeah, right, Grant. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. So give me a sec till I work out where they're going. Right, so just try to have a look back here. Now, I was wrong in the fact this was the first unit that moved, and it moved not with method, not with method 8, which is what the main. It moved to surround, moved to hexacosi surround the Soviet unit. So it moved with method 7, and that's why he moved first. He's unit 8, which that goes in descending order. The rest of the units, this guy was in here. And then 7 and 12, unit 7 and 12, I'm pretty sure they were in there. It's obviously, without looking at it all. And then 4 was in there as well. And this guy was round here somewhere when he started, but he moved to there. Because it was these 3, remember it's a Kampfgruppe card. We were able to activate this stack and these 2 units. We weren't able to activate this one. So he moved around there to do surround. And then we moved on to action step 8, and that's where we're at, and that's where and then yeah, I hear myself talking a bit about it, but if you consider the way it's worded, then I'll just go over this again, and we'll see. Movement method, action step 8. If not adjacent to a Soviet unit, move closer to the nearest Soviet unit. Right, well, he is not, and we're doing these in ascending order. So we've got 4 units to look at here. He's done his thing, and we do them in ascending order. So unit 4 is first. Now we decide that, right, where does he go? So he's 2 away from this, he's 2 away from that. So there are his 2 nearests. So we need to break it down from there, right? And obviously, action step 8, can we get adjacent to the unit? Yes, right, shut that page. Shut it, forget about it. 10.54, right, we move straight to there. Which is, yeah, I think something that, I think Martin's trying to bring this to attention as well. I'd like to think he thinks this is a bit, well, you know, maybe not. It feels a bit odd to me to, like, you considering that one preference within that action step, and then you're moving away from it completely. Just if there was a wee something there that said, I mean, even if it wasn't in the player aid, if it was in the rules, but the rules don't direct you to 10.54 either, which I guess that's where I find it strange. I mean, let me just, and within the rules, it's on page 19. We're looking at 10.14, which is 5 to 7 German action steps for game turns 5 through 7, and then action step 8, if not adjacent to Soviet unit, move to a hex closer to the nearest Soviet unit. Hex selection preferences 8, adjacent to Soviet unit, and then it just carries on. So, you know, you're easily going to get drawn into that, I think. So, and then there's nothing to tell you that you should move how many pages forward? 3 pages. It's on page 22 to this random sort of 10.54 instruction. What? Don't get me wrong, it's titled Movement Adjacent to Soviet Units, and it starts when an action calls for German units to move adjacent to a Soviet unit, move the units, and then it also says that these take priority. But there's just nothing to really sort of highlight the fact, you know, go there now, you know. Anyway, right, I've been on about that bit enough. So, but whether that was Martin's intention to bring that back, I mean, it does bring a good question, but I think you're clearly right with this, Martin. Tom Castle agreed with you as well, and I've agreed as well. When I read it again, I thought, well, yeah, it clearly is not. So, okay, so I work out that I can get adjacent here. I'll put my wee cubes in, right? Just humour me. And these are all adjacent to, remember, we're trying to get adjacent to this or adjacent to this. Adjacent to that, yeah, or adjacent to this, right? And that's as far down as we go. So there are 5 possible hexes, right? Right, in a sec. Right, sorry, I didn't have my main light on there, so I don't think it's dark. The sun's coming in the window there, and that's maybe why I never noticed. So I don't think it was a problem, but I'll put it on now anyway. Okay, so there's our 5 hexes, right? So, and then they're all adjacent, so we're looking at 10.54 again, so we're looking straight to the preferences, a hex that would cause the Soviet unit to become surrounded, right? No, none of them cause any Soviet unit to become surrounded. This guy's already moved across to do the only surrounding that we've got available. So we'll move on. B, and here it is. A hex not adjacent to a German unit adjacent to the same Soviet unit. Okay, so let's look at them again. And I know we've been through. I've been through it already, but just to show you what we're talking about. So if Unit 4 moves here, he's adjacent to this, which is adjacent to the same Soviet unit. Right, so, well, I'm not going to take it away yet because I think it is going to come down to something else. Okay, so that's a no. This one is a no because he's adjacent to the second SS unit, which is adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So that's a no. Right, we'll skip by this one, right? We'll move to these two because this is obviously the one with the issue. You know what, I'll use a darker cube because I think I decide, this is where I move the unit and yeah, I see it's wrong. So then this one, well, if I put the unit there, he's adjacent to the second SS unit, which is adjacent to the same Soviet unit, right? And then finally, this one here would be adjacent to this 57 core unit, which is adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So each of the 4 white cubes are definite no-nos. And the reason that it draws me to this one, because I initially look at it and I say, well, no. And then I say, oh, wait now. Because if I move into this one, I'm adjacent to this 57 core unit again, which is adjacent to the same Soviet unit. But then I look up here and I say, well, wait just now. I'm not adjacent to any German units here adjacent to this Soviet unit. So then I decide. But I have to admit, there was something floating about and I should have maybe stood back and read that, the instruction that I keep reading to you that I say I don't need to read out the book. I should have thought about it more because think about it. It's in a hex. It's talking about being in a hex, and that hex is not adjacent to a German unit which is adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So if I can't, although it satisfies the part that he's the only one, he's not adjacent to a German unit adjacent to this Soviet unit, but even if he moves in that hex, he's still adjacent to this German unit adjacent to this same Soviet unit. And that's all it's saying, that's all it's asking. A hex not adjacent to German unit adjacent to the same Soviet unit. And it is, so that doesn't apply as well. You shouldn't have went there. That's right. You can maybe see what I'm thinking, but when you read that sentence, if you keep reading it over, you think, well, no, because it's still breaking this rule. It is still adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit, even if we're not wanting to look at that one. We're not wanting to look at this one. We're wanting to look at this one. It doesn't matter. It's still there. So yeah, I totally agree. So, well, we've got things back to normal. So where would it go next? It would move on to the next preference, which is an empty hex. Okay, so there's these 4 possibles. So this one is now out. This is out, and there are the 3 possibles that he's got that are empty hexes. So then we need to break it down even further. This is the one, a hex occupied. Well, it can't be occupied if it's empty, yeah? So we can move on past that one. I'm going to have to watch that one though. I think it's only going to apply, I think I said this already, it's only going to apply when you're actually in an attack action, I think. Right, so it's most movement points to reach then. So Unit 4 would be able to go, it's 1 movement in there, he'd actually have to go, I think it's going to be this one, isn't it? So it's 1 to move into there, and it's 1, 2, 3 to move right into there because it needs to avoid the zone of control. However, to get into this one, it's 3, 4, 5. So there we go. So that's where he should have went. Right, okay. And now, I can't remember where the rest of them ended up because I thought, I've got to reset. He's the first one to move, so I've got to reset the rest of them. So we've still got 3 units to move, and I'm just going to basically fix that. Right, next one is Unit 5. So again, his 1, 2, 3. No, he's simpler, yeah, because this is his closest unit. So, and then we can get adjacent to it. So again, once you've read that from action step 8, close that page up, get to 10.54. A hex would cause Soviet unit to be surrounded. No. A hex not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. Now, where can he reach? So adjacent to this guy, yeah, might as well just put the cubes down. It's not going to take too long, Grant. And he can get in here. I don't think he can get around here, can he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is into there. So no. So yeah, there is 3 options. Now, if he went into that one, he's adjacent to this guy, which is adjacent. If he went into that one, he's adjacent to both these guys, which is adjacent. And if he went into that one... yeah, well, no, that's the same thing, isn't it? Because, again, I'm looking at this, I'm getting drawn towards this, and I'm saying, well, no, he's not got a unit adjacent if he goes into here. However, he would be adjacent to 57 Corps again, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So, again, each of them don't apply. So we move on, we can't break it down, and then the next preference is an empty hex. So he's only got one option there, it's that hex there, so in he pops, right, and then that's that one done. Now we've got 7 and 12. Now in the actual results, I think, do they not come down here? I think so. They might end up doing the same thing, but let's just make sure and we'll get it right this time. So unit 7, he's 2 away from that, he's 2 away from that, so that's his targets. Now where can he go? Well, he can go all the way up there actually. Here, and then he's 2 away from that one. So 1, 2, yeah, it's probably going to be the empty hex, isn't it? Yeah, it's the same real situation there. So there's all his possible hexes. Again, they're all adjacent. Move on to 10.54. Every one of them is adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. And even this one now is clearer because this guy's in here, but that would still applied, and same here. So then it comes to empty hex again. There is only one empty hex, so that's going to be that. And then we've got unit 12 to finish off with. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can go there. No, hang on. No, yeah, he's the same as 7, isn't he? So that's the exact same hexes, isn't it? Yeah, this one as well. Because these are the 2 nearest, aren't they? So exact same, so they all can't, none of them can be in a hex not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. We do not have an empty hex this time, so I think it's most movement points, isn't it? We get this one, a hex occupied solely by German units not attacking in this action. Well, every one of them is a German unit not attacking in this action, so we can, that one is only going to apply if it's an attack action. That's the only way I can think of that one, I think. And then the one that we're going to apply is most movement points to reach. So it's only 1 into here, it's 3, 4, 5 into here, so it might be this one then. Why did we end up with both of them down there the last time then? Did I miss that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because it's 1 into here, it's 1 into here, it's 1 into here, it's 1, 2, 3 into here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into here. I'm curious to know now, because I'm sure they were both in here. I maybe made a mistake with that last one. Looks to me like he's going in there. Just going to have a look though. Bah! I should have watched back the video, shouldn't I? Damn it, I'm forgetting. These shouldn't be in here. This is in dangerous round, isn't it? I'm wondering why there's no unit. I've moved the video forward. I'm wondering why there's nothing in there at all, because it's an empty hex. And it's because these guys, they obviously can't get further across. 1, 2... Yeah, we've looked at all this before. They can't get further, but they can go 1, 2, 3 into here and surround that hex. Oh, right, give me a second. Right, let's see if I can do this without having mere cubes doing it again. So I've put them back again. Right, this unit already moved, we've done that. So he couldn't get to any hex, it wasn't not adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So he's looking for empty hexes here, here, or here, weren't they? And I went here because this is the most movement. That is restricted because we're in dangerous surround. So it would be between this one, and that's why these guys came down here. Because it's only one movement into there. It is 1, 2, 3 into there. So he would have went there. Unit 5 next would be in the exact same position, wouldn't he? No, he's only trying to get adjacent to this guy. He can only reach these 3 hexes. They're all adjacent to a German unit, yada yada yada. These 2 are empty. This one is restricted because it's surroundable. I've just got that unit off camera there, but you can see this third tank unit can surround if something was to go in there. So he's only got 2 empty hex possibilities, so he would have to just use the other one. And I'm assuming that's definitely not reachable surround. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, it can get across into there. Or, no, it can't. It can get into there though. Oh, that does surround. No, it doesn't. Does it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. He's got an out here. So yeah, that's fine. But like I say, the unit going there, we can't put in it there. Now, bear in mind, we did move this unit in there, and he's clearly in dangerous surround. But the instruction tells us that if we're movement restrictions tell us that if it's not in dangerous surround, don't end move in dangerous surround unless you're surrounding a Soviet unit. That's one of the unlesses. So that's why he's where he is. So yeah, so his only choice would have been there. Then we're looking at 7. These are his 2 possibilities. He can't go to the empty hex. He's going to go to the most movement. This is 1. This is 1. This is 1. So he's going to come down here. And in fact, you know what? They're both going to do that, aren't they? So the 3 of them are going to end up down here. So I think the only difference we have is Unit 4's down here instead of in here. But that is right. I mean, if you read how it's worded, the rule, you know, you can see where my thinking had been, but the way it's worded. So if I was right, then the wordings would need to be adjusted. Because that's definitely when Martin pointed out there. Right, okay, that's 20 minutes gone, so I want to get this German impulse going before, and then try and put this part together. Oh, I'll try and quickly mention it. Martin also mentioned, he's also put a post up about, remember I was talking about this unit being able to move into here, and then a Soviet unit was proximate, and how he kind of felt that that's a bit of a, is that a clever move? Is that the sort of thing the Germans would do? Not only that, I find that that one going to be so easy to miss. You're not going to look at units like that and say, well, he could go to here, and then all of a sudden, one of these are proximate to it. It just feels like so easy to miss. But so he's popped something up there about that as well. Like I say, he's trying to get John along to maybe answer a couple of these things so we can move on properly. Okay, right. Let's get this German impulse started then. Okay, here we go. German impulse. Taking SS. Okay, it's got reserves. How many is it? 1, 2. Yeah, there's 3 available. So deploy all second SS core reserves from turn 2 if at least 2 units eligible. Well, there's certainly 2 in the reserve units box, and the fact that we're into method B now, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. So, right, let's have a look and see where they're going to go then. Okay, there's the 3 units there, strong units. 5 strength and 2 4 strength armoured units. The 5 strength is 3 steps as well, so not nice. Now they're 4th Panzer Army units, so going in between this line and this line. Now, some hints there should be that we not long deployed the 57 core units, which were, admittedly this one was drawn in to be deployed first because it's one of its core there. So now where have we got the likes of the core? We've got 2 units here, there's one in there, and there's a couple back on the road there, which we'll not be looking at to get within 3 of them. I would think it's quite possible 1, 2, 3. No, I don't think I can reach that. They're kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in there. I mean, I can reach this hex, which would be within 3, and this one, which would be within 3. So they're possibles. What have we got down here? Remember, ignore Garrison's grant. Yes. No, it's probably kind of tight here though, isn't it? There's not a way through to any of these hexes, and there's nothing that we can come. There's no gap up in here either. It's the Germans. Their 57 core units made it even less so. Not that we had much in the way of stuff to move through here, but so there's nothing really available to get in there. So I actually do think we probably want to look further to the western edge, I think. Yeah, so what do we have up there that we might be proximate to? Like I say, it's only... Oh, these are outside, aren't they? Yeah, they're outside the line, aren't they? Yeah, so there's nothing... I mean, I was pointing at these, but these are in the Core Rouse Army Detachment Kempf area. So all of these... I suppose I was looking at something within 3 of him, but... Well, no, so we're not going to catch that preference at all. Hits and moves dangerous south from up German. Yeah. So well, I know there is still some issues down here with these units, isn't there? Or is that still an issue now with these? I don't think it is it? Yeah, because we can't move from here to here or here to here. No. However, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this guy is still in dangerous surround. This one is not. That detachment, I think, got put there quite a while ago now to stop that. So, so he is in dangerous surround. But every time I looked at this, there was not a position hex that could help him, and that's still going to be the case. I mean, this is one that does not stop him from being surrounded. There's just not a hex to help him out. Sorry, I'm a wee bit further up there, but yeah, I'm talking. That's the only one that's near them. The garrison as well, but again, it's not stopping this guy from being surrounded. So can forget that possibility. I think it's going to come down to lowest numbered hex, isn't that? Moves dangerous round. Lowest. Sorry, not lowest number hex. Lowest position number. Okay, right. Well, let me start looking here. Like I've said already, I don't think there's much. I mean, can we still be looking down here? I mean, it's possible. I think we found the likes of this, and was this in supply? Yeah, it is. I mean, this hex here is in supply. Let's let me mark that one just now. But going further along to these two, these wouldn't be in supply, and I don't think this one would be either. No, this one's not. Yeah, these aren't. That one would be in supply and this one would be supply. Now, I'm not sure if they're in dangerous round or not, but, well, hang on, that one's adjacent to German unit as well. And well, we need to be proximate to it as well, Grant, so, well, it's adjacent to German unit, hang on. Unless adjacent German unit can't trace supply and placement would enable it to do so. Well, no, because we've got this guy moved in a position where he can trace supply. So this isn't a possible hex. This could be though, because we are 1, 2, 3. We are proximate to this. That can trace supply. Can we surround that though? I mean, with this unit moving here, maybe not. We ignored garrisons, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can get there. And this guy can get 1, 2, 3, 4. But we need something. What can he do? That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the best he can do. Does that surround? Does that surround it? I think it does, eh? Yeah, it does. It does. So we can just stop that one from happening, which I'm kind of glad about. I don't think I want a second SS unit popping up there. Okay, so I think that takes everything out of this area. These are both adjacent. Well, I'm proximate to this. I'm not going to be proximate to any of these as well. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But we're definitely looking up the very west edge because there's nothing we can get in here. We can't get proximate to anything in here. So yeah, it definitely is moving up the top there. And when I say moving up the top, I mean the very top, because I think this is only one he can reach, isn't it? Within the boundary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are proximate to this, and that is the only hex relevant that we're proximate to, and it's a map edge hex as well, so it's not wanting to. Well, that's just a preference. Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's no breakthroughs there at all. There's nothing can get through, Grant. Yeah. So if it was that very top hex, then I was looking. I started watching a bit of playthrough of Jeff's German solo. I don't know why the guy got that game. I've not watched it all yet, but I think he eventually packs it in. I mean, he says at the beginning about he's not really into games that the AI. You've got to spend loads of time operating the AI and whatever. And I don't know. I mean, he actually makes comment. I think that he knows what he's getting in for, and then I don't think it still works for him. I mean, it's fair enough. I can understand, and he's not going to be the only one that doesn't like to spend all that time operating an AI. I love it, but it's not for everyone, is it? I mean, I'm just a bit baffled to why he went and got the game, because I mean it's not a cheap game and whatever. I don't know. I mean, I guess he must have found something in the games. Must have found something in Ardennes. Because even if it's just that bit that you don't like, I mean, whether it could be still a good two-player game for him as well, maybe that's a fair point. But yeah, I don't know why he bothered trying to do the solo game. Anyway, yeah, and the reason I brought that up was I noticed that it's all up there, it's all up the top of the map, and I'm going to be like, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. I think well, I mean, the good thing is the area, the lower in the map, nothing's really on it, so I'll be able to put the tripod on there, but what I think might be better is moving the map down the table so that the map edge is, it just means I'll have to have, well, I could have a separate area to put all my bits and bobs, really, yeah, and my cards and that, yeah, that would be better, and bring the map closer to me, really. I think that would make more sense. Possibly as the game went on I might be able to move it, but there's risks involved in that. Anyway, right, Grant, you were wanting things to keep moving, so right, so if it did go up there, Hex is entered garrisoned. Yeah, in reserve units army area, it just is. Not in Soviet artillery barrage. In German reserve supply, yeah. Soviet unit proximate to the Hex, yes. Unit would not be in danger of surrounded placed in the Hex. No, there's no way we can get any further than that. I'm saying that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because we can surround it because it's one of the ones on the edge. Oh well, I'm glad I checked there. Yeah, because he can go there, which surrounds which zone of control controls all these 3 hexes. He's nowhere to go. Hang on though. It's not in the Soviet support zone, Grant. Unit would not be in danger of surround unless in German map edge hex as well. Unless in German map edge hex or hex outside Soviet support. So it is okay still. Right, good. Hex is not Soviet town or city, not adjacent to German unit. Among qualifying positions, well, I think that's the only position we've got. And I actually think the other units are going to have to deploy via method B. VPX for lowest position number, within 3 X's of unit in the same core. Hex that removes danger of surrounding from another German unit or enables another German unit to trace supply. Not in danger of surrounding, non-map edge hex. I mean, these are just preferences. I'd prefer not to be, but and then lowest position number. But I mean, it's not a very low position number either, I would think, is it? 150. But I don't think there's another option, method A. Yeah, I just brought the camera back down into this area again just to see, but no, I mean, remember this one we looked at and we are able to surround, and that one would be in the support zone, so we'd be in support, so that's a no. So yeah, so I think, I mean, again, as always, never comfortable. So unit 3, this is the best one of them, is going to way up there. Now, is that good for us? Maybe not really. I mean, I don't know. Right, I'm convinced that even with that guy deploying there, we are not proximate to any other unit, any other hexes in that area. So I'm going to move straight to method B now. So method B, place unit in a hex occupied by unit in the same core within stacking limits and from which reserve supply can be traced. So there is obviously that one, there's the 2 over here. This one would be able to trace reserve supply, this one would, this one would. So they're all able to trace reserve supply. So prefer a hex A in the army zone, they're all in the army zone. B, occupied by unit with the lowest ID. Oh well, is that the guy we've just put on the table? Probably. Yeah, because these guys got... Oh no, it's not. Here's selector number 1. Ooh. Yuck. Right, so that's where they're both going to go then. No they're not. That would be 7 steps, Grant. So try to mess about with the camera while I'm standing up. Yeah, you'll see he's a 3-stepper. However, unit 7 will deploy in there. That's not good. And then unit 8, again, he'd like to go here because this is the lowest selector number. The next, again, lowest selector number is going to be unit 3. That's the one we just placed away up the top. So I think he's going to go in there. So that's 9 strength up there now. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, as always, well, I don't know. I kind of do feel quite confident about that. That's a mistake, Grant, saying that. I don't know, I did look there and it didn't look like there was anything better. You know, that's method B. Occupied by same core, within stack limits, which reserve supply can be traced. Prefer hex in the army zone, occupied by unit with the lowest ID. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with that. So that's an impulse over. I'm in the red again, so I don't know what it was that's went on my camera. I did talk about the podcast, I downloaded a few. I don't know how much. I mean, they're going to add up space right enough, aren't they? Still not done a new phone situation. We'll get around to it. Hopefully I'll have it when we move on to the German solo. Yeah, right. Okay, well, we'll see. Right, I'm going to upload this, copy it across, get it organised, and I've still got time, so I'm going to come back and see what we're going to do next. Now, we only have 4 cards left, so yeah, okay. Right, I'll be back soon, guys. Cheers.